Yo, welcome to Spectator Sporting. I'm Zacch Roach along with my partner, Mr. Ali Wiley. We talking Bears draft review. Big day for the Bears and draft, and to help us out, we got Coach Marcus Floyd here, and we got my man Boom in the building to go over these picks. The Chicago Bears made some moves in the offseason. They had the number 1 pick, traded the number 1 pick, ended up with the number 9 pick from Carolina this season, and when you thought they was going to stay at number 9, Ryan Poles said no and went back a pick. So I'm going to start with you, Coach Floyd. First of all, before we go about what happened with the pick, talk about Darnell. What you like about Darnell Wright?
Darnell Wright, very safe pick. Very safe pick. Some had him graded as the best tackle coming out. He 43 games in the SEC.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Had really good tape against Will Anderson.
Yep.
Shut him down. So I really, very safe pick for Ryan Poles. Would like to see him take a gamble at that point, but a very safe pick. I think he could come right away. He's automatically locked in as your right tackle, but because it's a number 10 pick, me personally, I think you at least have to try him out as left tackle to see is he an upgrade from Braxton Jones. If not, put him at right tackle, have your right tackle for the 10, 11, 12 years.
Yep.
Hopefully he's a Pro Bowler. Hopefully one day he's going into the Hall of Fame. First O-line pick in the top 10 for the Bears since Jimbo Cole.
Yes.
Wow. Oh,
true.
That's it. Hey, you bringing them stats today, so.
Hall of Fame.
Hey, I like it. So.
Key cog to the 85 Super Bowl.
So I know you want to touch on this, so I'm gonna let you touch on it. So what is your thoughts about the Bears trading number 9 pick when Jalen Carter was there available? What was your thoughts on that?
A couple weeks ago on this show, Ryan Poles, I said, if Jalen Carter is there, you have to take him. The talent is just unbelievable. You cannot pass that up. But I got to thinking. Because not only did Ryan Poles pass them up, the Detroit Lions passed them up, the Seattle Pete Carroll and the Seattle Seahawks passed them up, and I just didn't think he'll go. So something happened in interviews, something happened in workouts where the Bears said they wasn't going to touch him. So Ryan Poles, we are trusting you. We are trusting you that he had a bad workout. It's something he did that you said you wasn't going to touch him, because here's the thing. We can't say it was a character issue because we drafted in the 2nd round a guy who had some character issues as well.
Yes.
So,
fair point.
I just think, now I will say this, he's going to Philadelphia. And in Philadelphia, they have some veterans, they have some professionals on that team. He has a lot of Georgia Bulldogs. We're going to start calling that the Philadelphia Bulldogs. So he did go to, Jalen Carter did go to a place where his immaturity could be helped.
Yeah.
So whereas one of the reasons the Bears locker room may not be the place for his immaturity, and all of these things do have to matter.
Yeah.
Could you bring him into that locker room? Whereas Philly, they right away jumped up to go get him. Whereas you got those guys, the leadership, you got Quinn, you got Fletcher Cox, you got all those guys who could teach him how to be a professional. So he did go to a right spot, but I will be looking at, not if he's good. I think he's going to be very good.
We all know he's going to be good.
But if he's going to be an all-pro, then I'm going to have an issue. If he's just a good DT tackle, a DT, I'm okay with it. But if he's an all-pro, Ryan Poles, we have issues.
Well, I'm not gonna get. I'm not even gonna compare. I'm not even gonna look at his career to see if Ryan Poles messed up, because, like Marcus just said, he's in a perfect situation. He just joined a Super Bowl roster.
Yes.
The Eagles did some kind of record where they had the most sacks since like the 85 Bears.
The most sacks last year.
You know what I'm saying? He's in all these Georgia Bulldogs on their team. The Kobe Dean, they took Nolan Smith in the 1st round.
Yeah.
They got Jordan Davis. It's a perfect setup. So with the Bears, you look at what the Bears got, they don't have anything. They don't have no identity.
It's no responsibility to listen to anybody on that team. Any of the veterans, Billings, or anybody like
Justin
that.
Jones.
Justin Jones.
Yeah.
So you can't have this guy come in and be the big dog on campus as he walks through the door. It'd be hard for him to, bust his ass to, push himself to
I
do
agree.
something.
I definitely agree.
You see other, like you said, a great example about teams that passed them up. Seattle, the Lions who could have used them, but even the Lions, even the Lions defense, they get the guy from Michigan from last year, but he's still in his second year. So like no team really had those dogs on the front line to make him get in line. So he's in a perfect situation.
Very good
He
situation.
might be a Hall of Famer because of the team he got drafted by. But
Hopefully
I couldn't have pulled the trick on that.
Because if he's a Hall of Famer, he's gonna be Hall of
He's on the
Famer.
right team.
What if both of them Hall of Famers? What if Darnell Wright's a Hall of Famer too?
I'll be happy. I'll be happy.
But talk to me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say if he's a Hall of Famer, that means I think if he's a Hall of Famer, that means he could have sailed anywhere. But if he's a Pro Bowler 2 or 3 years, that could possibly mean where he was in a great situation.
Well, a lot of teams thought he couldn't excel. You know what? One last thing about this guy, his assistant coaches was telling all the scouts that he was a bad guy, bad motivated. It wasn't about people dying in a car accident. It was about him in his day-to-day practice habits was tough for him to be motivated. He was a hard guy to coach, according to reports.
I heard that after our show as well, after we did our show, that the Georgia coaches was telling people that you might want to stay away from him.
Yeah. Wow.
But the talent is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
And it shows everything.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's huge. Wow. So, Bo, talk to me about Darnell Wright. What you like about him? Do you like him?
You know what? So going before the show, I thought before our pre-draft show I thought I really was big on knowing what's going on with the offensive line. But like Adi Wally said, I miss Darnell Wright. He brought him up in the pre-draft show. Yeah. In the pro football draft, they had him listed as a guard, number one. And then furthermore, I was really looking at the left tackles. So he's listed as a right tackle now. And with that being said, this dude is a beast. Yeah. He's an animal. He's violent. He's pancaking guys. I did some film. He got a move where he slapped the guy's hand down. So he's really doing hand fighting. It's not all brute and strength. So when you're getting ready to make that contact, instead of going for the shoulder, but he's slapping them down, then he pancake them and put them flat on their face. So he got moves with it, and he's throwing them off. You do a one-hand jab, you do a left or right-hand jab, or he hits you with both hands. He got moves. The guy's going to be the best right tackle. I'm looking for left tackle, so I passed him by. I didn't look at him, but as far as the right tackle, he's going to be physical, he's going to be nasty, he's going to have moves in the passing block. This guy's going to be there for 10 years. God bless him. We got our guy.
Okay. Yeah, 6'5", 333 pounds. Just an absolute monster. Absolutely. Adi, talk to me about Darnell Wright.
Well, you know what? The Bears opening day starting right tackle last season was Larry Bourne, okay?
Larry Bourne.
Yeah, and 5th round pick. And so he got benched for the 34-year-old Riley Reiff. And, then Chris Morgan, the offensive line coach, said, you know what, let's give the former Raider, 2021 first round pick, Alex Leatherwood a shot.
On the roster.
At right tackle. He's still on the roster. He got smoked. Yeah. So then they benched him and they said, you know what, we're going to stick with Riley Reiff for the rest of the season. And now he left for New England. He's gone in New England with the Patriots. So in free agency, Ryan Poles, he decided not to pay up for a few solid right tackles in free agency. Right tackle's Jawan Taylor. He left the Jaguars, went to the Chiefs. Yep. You had Caleb McGarry. He signed back with the Falcons for not too much money, about $11.5 million a year. And
Mike McGlinchey,
he left the 49ers and he went to the Denver Broncos.
And Orlando Brown Jr.
Orlando Brown Jr. He was a right tackle for the Chiefs, but he's playing left tackle for the Bengals now. Yeah. So he really wanted to play left tackle, but he didn't go after them guys. He didn't want to pay up. So really, going into this draft, he had no choice. He had no choice but to take this man. You know what I'm saying? And so now Darnell Wright, he said the Bears O-line coach Chris Morgan kicked his ass doing individual drills. Okay? And he said that Chris Morgan was trying to see if I'd quit like Jalen Carter.
I like it. Okay. Bring it back to your original point.
But you know what? This guy didn't quit. He went through it and he finished all the drills, individual drills, just him in Tennessee, him by himself, solo dolo. He finished it, showed good character, and so that's pretty good. Now, Boone was talking about this before the show. In 2021, Darnell Wright, he started at left tackle, okay? But that year he gave up 3 sacks, he gave up 13 hurries, and he had 10 penalties. Now last year, 2022, they switched him to right tackle. He gave up 0 sacks, only 6 hurries, and only had 2 penalties, okay? Now this guy, Darnell Wright, he went against the best of the best, like Marcus was talking about. He went against the 2022 #1 overall pick, Travon Walker, with the Jaguars, all right? He went against him. He went against the 2nd round pick, B.J. Ojolari from LSU. He's an Arizona Cardinal now. He went against the Saints' first round pick, Brian Bresee. This guy, he was first round. He was a defensive tackle. He went against him. He also went against Will Anderson. All of those guys. You know, he's with Houston, the #3 pick, and he went against all those guys. All those guys combined, he only gave up 1 sack.
That's incredible.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and Will Anderson said he's the best offensive lineman he ever went against.
Quick too. I saw the interview. It was like it was on his mind. Like it wasn't like you had to think about it between him and somebody else. He's like a book.
Michael Parsons also tweeted something about him.
Yeah. So now, people talk about this big jump that Jalen Hurts did from year 2 to year 3. That's what we want Justin Fields to do, right? And what people overlook a lot when they look at this jump by Hurts, they always talk about A.J. Brown and all this. But the offensive line for the Eagles is immaculate.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson, Landon Dickerson, Steve Malu just left for the Steelers this offseason. But that offensive line is immaculate. We got to get that right. Jalen Carter, he can't stop Justin Fields from getting sacks. I woke up like, wait, can Jalen Carter stop Justin Fields from getting sacks? No, he can't. No. Get Darnell Wright. Give me Darnell Wright.
And I want to add what that is.
Adi has spoken.
He's right about what Jalen Carter can do for the Bears because he now makes that O-line solid. We got a starting 5 and we have backups. If we would have got Jalen Carter on defense, then we would have, he would have been good. But we wouldn't have the ends to go with him. Our front 4 on defense wouldn't have been solid. He would have been kind of out there by himself, like head and shoulders above everybody else. Now, while Darnell Wright, he has 4 other guys that's equal to him. We got a solid front 5 and backups. The offense is ready to go now with that pick compared to still not being solid on defense if we would have got Jalen Carter. So I feel like he just, make your strength stronger and we'll do defense next year.
One more point about Justin Fields was pressured on 14.75% of his dropbacks. That was the highest in modern NFL history. Okay, they had to take offensive tackle.
All right, I sell it.
I sell it right. Okay, I know I wanted Jalen Carter, but maybe you're right.
So I should scratch this off from safe to smart.
Hey, listen. So with the Bears not drafting Jalen Carter and going with Darnell Wright, so in the 2nd round, that means they got to go get a D tackle somewhere. So they chose Gervon Dexter out of Florida. So boom, talk to me about Gervon Dexter.
Is it Gervon or Gervon?
Oh, Gervon.
Gervon.
I'm sorry, Gervon. I apologize.
That's Bone's guy too. He talked about him.
Talked about him pre-draft. I was on him. He's a humongous guy, former basketball player that's well known. So he's kind of raw with his talent. They kind of used him in the 3 technique in college, but for whatever reason, he was still playing 2-gap. So 2-gap, you kind of standing up, taking on blockers, looking where you're going. All right, now our general manager Poe said he want to use him still in the 3 technique, but 1-gap. So you're gonna be, instead of flat-footed in the stance pre-snap, gonna be on your toes, ready to fire into a gap, picking where you want to go. You just fire there. So he's a 6'6", 330-pound, strong Hulk tree trunk of a guy. Gonna be firing out. All you want to do is have him make a dent into that O-line and create the levels so the linebackers can see it and read and make the tackles. So I think he'll be more productive in the NFL level because of his body. All he's doing is firing out that 6'6", 330-pound frame, making a disruption for the other players to make a tackle. He might not get sacks. So at the minimum, I'm saying he can be a run-stopping, big defensive tackle at the 3 technique, letting our big money linebackers make the tackle. So for what we want, he's no Jalen Carter. All right, he can't do the play by himself, but he's a great guy to help the overall defense play if they work as a team. All 11 together. So I like the pick. And we're going to see what he's going to do. This big guy, though. A real big, strong guy.
Absolutely. One thing from the first and the second round pick, it seems like the Bears wanted to be more physical. And they picked two. That's what they was looking for. It ain't just about Justin Fields.
Yeah.
These picks also tell me the Bears are still planning on running the football a lot as well, too. Coach, talk to me about Gervon Dexter.
Boone hit on everything I had wrote down, but I have the opposite about this. I feel this pick was a reach. I feel the pick was a reach because Florida's scheme, as Boone said, is more read and react. And so nothing on film shows where he can get in the backfield. His stats is not good. So they're taking this as a project. This is a project. Ryan Poles came off and said that, and once again, he is big and he's huge and he's fast. And he has those long arms, play basketball and everything. But it's nothing on film that shows where he could get in the gaps. And so that's the issue that I have. We have this second round draft. We have this second pick that's pretty high for a project on the D line, where it was a couple guys that was out there that has the film. So he's going as a project. He ended up drafting three DTs in the draft. So he's going, and it's, as we say, these draft picks, they're lottery tickets. They're lottery tickets. So he took a gamble in the second round, whereas I feel in the first round he was very safe. And so then he started taking a gamble. Hey, if this pick works out, he looks like a genius.
Right.
He looks like a genius, and I think that's why he ended up coming out with 3 D tackles, whereas he got 3 lottery tickets, just hoping one of them hit. And we'll get to it, I actually like the Pickens guy a little better.
Okay.
But we'll get to that.
I can just rebuttal your negative comment about my guy is that the only thing
It's your guy now.
Well, he did call him out on the first show, so we got to give him credit.
He definitely did.
I think his floor is a run stopping defensive tackle. Like I said, if he don't explode,
His ceiling is amazing.
His
ceiling is.
If his ceiling is, he get that fire. Like you said, it's not that he lazy nothing. He just went straight up in his two gap defense. So if he explode out, he can be great. But at the worst, if he just stand up, he's 6'6", 300 pounds. You're gonna have to block him. You're gonna open up lanes, so he can be a run stopper at the line of scrimmage.
And the only reason I say that Florida's scheme is he was automatically supposed to stand up and use his athletic ability to go find the ball. They didn't ask him to get in the backfield. So that's why his sack numbers are really low. So, but now you're asking somebody to do something that he's never done before. They're projecting that, and that's what Ryan Poles, with both of the good DTs, Ryan Poles said he looks, even though he didn't have to do it, he looks at the combine vertical jumps and different things like that for explosion. For explosion, but I just want to see it on film. Me personally, I want to see, have you done it before? Or have you had flashes? And so now after coaching, you have flashes. I could teach you how to do it more often. He hasn't never done it.
I mean, he can just be a run stopper. At the worst, he can be a run stopper. If he's reaching potential, he can be Tommy Harris. But the worst, he can be a run stopper. So at the end of the floor,
Tommy Harris lived in the backfield.
The worst,
Tommy Harris would have been
he had the most explode. That was one of the explosions. Like that was what he was known for, getting off the ball so quick.
It's almost like Billis, like to have that assurity that you're going to be able to stop the run at minimum. That's all I'm saying.
All right, what's your feelings on Gervon Dexter?
Well, I knew it was going to happen. It happens every year. All of us wanted Thule we wanted Thule, man. Tolochi.
We all did.
We all wanted him. The USC Trojan. He led the nation in sacks. He could be an edge rusher. But we
13.5.
We didn't get him. We ended up with Dexter. Now Thule's with the Chargers. Now he got picked right after Dexter and went to the Chargers.
We're also gonna be looking at that.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Gervon Dexter, he had the 3rd best vertical jump, like Marcus mentioned. He had the 3rd best vertical jump amongst defensive tackles, and he had the 5th fastest 40 time amongst defensive tackles. He ran a 4.8840.
That's fast as hell.
And he is huge, 6'6", 310 pounds, but he didn't start playing football until his junior year in high school. He actually played on a traveling hooping team with Scotty Barnes, the Toronto Raptor, but Dexter, he needs to increase his motor, and he needs to develop some counter moves during his pass rush and be more relentless out there on the film, out there on the field and stuff like that. So last season, he had 55 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. With all that size, athleticism, and great testing you want to see more on film, you know, and so like I think it's
part of it is the scheme too.
Yeah,
that was the way Florida they scheme.
Right.
So they didn't ask him to do it. They didn't ask him to get.
Well, that makes sense. You look on the film, you don't
see him getting in the backfield.
And so, but the Bears, they got him with the number 53 pick. But the draft scout Matt Miller, he had him ranked at number 89. Mel Kiper had him ranked at 103. And Pro Football Focus had him ranked at 117. This is a reach.
Yes, I thought,
This is a reach.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I thought a little bit too it was a reach, but maybe this. You also got to think about the defense. Matt Eberflus defense. He's looking for specific type guys to run his defense, like he had in Indianapolis, kind of. When they had the linebacker Darius Leonard and all that. So we'll see. We'll see.
One last thing is the defense. I hear they want to use him only playing about 40% of the snaps, maybe even 30. So they want him to use his bursts in short intervals. A defensive line, you got to have waves. You're gonna the defensive line of the Bears is very in the beginning stages right now. You got to have like 10 people. So we want them to play about 30% of the snaps. Use his energy, go out. So you're right. It's not a lot of production, but if you play less and use your little bit of motor you get, maybe you'll do something in the NFL.
All right. And the Bears also traded up for another person too. Let's talk about Adi. Talk to me about the cornerback from Miami, Mr. Tyrique Stevenson.
Yeah. He has good size. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds. Matt Eberflus loves Tyrique Stevenson because he says he's very tough and very physical. And the thing about him, wide receivers better have some top-notch hands against him. He's coming to hit and he's coming to knock that ball loose. Stevenson, he loves to push around wide receivers. He doesn't mind. He's not shy at all to come up there and inflict pain on running backs on them sweeps and toss plays and those cute little screen passes. All right. So now Stevenson, he started off as a Georgia Bulldog, but he wasn't getting a lot of playing time. He didn't like it. He was frustrated, so he transferred to the Miami Hurricanes. Okay, and in the last 2 seasons, he had 68 tackles, 11 passes defended, and 3 interceptions. So why was he the 8th cornerback taken in the draft? Speed. That's his knock. They say he don't have a lot of speed. He did have some problems with a little issues with the speedster wide receivers with the blazing track speed and things like that. And he was ranked at number 13 at the NFL Combine in the 40-yard dash. Okay, but the Bears do have another cornerback that they took last year, Kyler Gordon. He ran a 4.52 in the 40, so the Bears don't really get all too hung up about how fast that corners are. They just want you to be big and physical.
That's what they're looking for.
Physical corners.
And then you got A.D. Jackson. You see why they're keeping him around, because if somebody get burnt, A.D. Jackson, go ahead and help him out type thing. You know what I'm saying? Right. So and then Brisker, he's versatile. He can intercept some balls too, And so, you got the Lions, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown, they got Jameson Williams, you got the Vikings. They just took Addison, Jordan Addison from USC, the Trojan. They already got the Gritty King, Justin Jefferson, and then the Packers. The Gritty King, and then you got Michigan State Spartan Jaden Reed, 2nd round pick by the Packers. He's going to Green Bay, and then you got Christian Watson with Green Bay. We need all the corners we can get. So Stevenson, I like him. I like the pick.
Coach, talk to me about Tyrique Stevenson real quick.
I'm 0 for 3, Ryan Poles. I'll give 1. I didn't like this pick. The talent is there. Only reason I didn't like this pick. And Kirby Smart is one of the smartest minds in football. And one of the reasons it wasn't just playing time at Georgia, Kirby Smart didn't think he was a corner. Right. And he thought he was a corner. Kirby Smart wanted him to play safety.
Oh, okay.
And so he didn't think he was a safety, so he went to a lesser, which ACC is still good, but it's not SEC. Yeah. And so right away when I heard that, I had an issue like Kirby Smart knows what he's talking about. The Georgia Bulldogs know what they're talking about. So I didn't. When I found that out, I wasn't excited about the pick, but I was excited with the with his talent. He also had a lot of red flags because he had a big shoulder injury, where I think he had to get some things shaved off his collarbone or something like that. So it had some injuries of concerns. But it's dead. Another thing, what I am hoping, that he is not Jalen Johnson's replacement. That's what I'm hoping. He is not Jalen. That means we need to sign Jalen Johnson and do not let him leave. But what the plan is right now, because what it is, and also he don't have to come in and start.
Right.
We have 2 corners, but we know in the NFL you need 3, you need 4. I even said on this draft we need to leave this draft with 2 or 3 corners on the pre-draft show. But so what I'm hearing is we got Gordon and we got Jalen Johnson on third downs in our nickel packages. He'll play on the outside and we'll slide Gordon in. And I think that's really talented. That's very exciting because now, Pose, I might like the pick because you're now looking at depth. And we know right now, we think our strongest last year was the running back. This year, we know it's the defensive backfield, which is our strongest unit on the Bears. So this one gonna have to grow on me. There's a couple things, like I said, I trust Kirby Smart, and Kirby Smart didn't think he was a corner.
Real quick on Tyrique Stevenson.
Well, I say don't sleep on Kendall Vendor, our other corner, little short guy. I like him. You know what? I say at worst case, he's a special team fucking Pro Bowler. I look at him as depth.
Second round?
You know what? I know second round is crazy, but I feel like the DBs is so cold that you got to be able to be that good.
Okay.
All I'm going to say is, yeah, he has potential. I think he might lose guys, 10 yards, 15 yards, 20-yard routes, double routes. He lose guys, like I said, with short, fast, speedster routes. If he get his hands on you, he gonna lock you up in short bump and run.
Yeah.
But if he just don't get his hands on you, he gonna get lost. You're gonna be able to burn him for a deep reception. So I hope he can play that other corner. I don't like our guy Kyle Gordon going back and forth. I hope he can play nickel. He's gonna be a nickel 70% of the snap. So why are you going back and forth? Just play nickel. Focus on that. You're gonna be on the field, so you don't got to go back and forth from outside to inside. And I know we got to stop. So
No, you good.
Yeah, second round though, but I'm okay with him being worst case a Pro Bowl special teamer because our DBs is cold and deep. He gonna have to fight for some playing time.
Yeah, I was interested to see. I think Matt Eberflus, it fits more of his style, the jamming receivers, the physical. So let's talk about the Bears' third round pick. Number 64 pick in the draft. Another D tackle, Mr. Zacch with 2 C's, Pickens. Boom, talk to me about Zacch Pickens.
You know what? I like Zacch Pickens. I know Marcus Floyd gonna go into him a lot. He like him more than I like him, but I like him because of his potential. In college, he was used as a D tackle 1. That means the biggest man on the defensive line, taking on double teams, not really penetrating. However, his body type is made for somebody to be explosive, to penetrate. He's 6'4", what I got it at?
290.
He's 6'4", 290, smaller than our second round pick from Florida. So he's more explosive, he's quick, he get the mental attitude. You listen to his interviews, you want to go after it and play that 3 technique, gap penetrating 1 defensive tackle 3 technique defensive tackle instead of the defensive tackle 1 taking on double teams that he played in college. So he got the body for it, he got the strength, he's explosive. Another guy, 6'4", the other guy was 6'6". I like the combination, so I think they're on the right path. They're good run stoppers at the least at the floor. He's gonna be a run stopper, but he wants to be a penetrator and go to quarterback and see what he can do with.
Absolutely, Zacch Pickens. So, Coach, you was high on this pick for Zacch Pickens, I think. Am I saying that right?
I was higher than our guy Gervon Dexter.
Right.
I was higher than him because on his film you do see the flashes. His productivity, and you look at his stats is not good either. But you see the flashes. One play that comes to mind, whereas against Tennessee, he exploded in the backfield. Only thing, he couldn't get our quarterback Hayden Hooker.
Hayden Hooker? The Detroit Lions.
Yeah, he couldn't get them down, and it ended up being a really long play for Tennessee. But the thing about it, so that's where he showed flashes of getting in the backfield on the film. Did he take the quarterback down all the time? No, but that's what I was saying with our guy Dexter, whereas now with coaching, with weight training or whatever, he has actually done it, and he fits more, as Boom said, more of a 3 technique. The Bears may have left this draft with 2 D tackles. They may have left this draft, so I just liked him better than the Dexter pick. The Dexter has a higher ceiling.
Okay.
He has a higher ceiling with his measurables, but once again, when we go to the underwear Olympics or whatever.
Yeah.
I love to see it on film.
Yeah.
And sometimes we look at the underwear Olympics too much. And so that's why I liked Pickens better than I did Dexter.
Okay. No doubt. So, Adi, what you feel about Zacch Pickens?
Well, my guy, the edge rusher from Louisville, Yaya Diaby. He was there. He was there. The edge rusher, he was there. And the Bears didn't take him. He went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the 3rd round. Also, the Buckeye, the edge rusher, Zach Harrison, he was there. And the Bears passed up on him. He's an Atlanta Falcon in the 3rd round as well. And so, Ryan Poles, he has $24 million invested into the new linebackers next season, TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds, okay? And he's clearly doing everything he can possibly do to make sure those guys succeed with some big defensive tackles right in front of them, okay?
Yeah.
So the Gamecock, Zacch Pickens, he's 6'4", 290, and the underwear Olympics. He had the fourth. He had the fourth NFL combine. Now, I mean, Ryan Poles, he loves that for his defensive lineman for some reason. I mean, he had the 4th highest vertical jump at the NFL combine amongst defensive tackles. He had the 6th fastest 40 time. Okay. Now he's solid fighting through double teams. He was 2nd team All SEC last year, but coming out of high school, he was the 8th best prospect in the country coming out of high school, but he did not meet expectations on the college level, okay? And Pickens said, I'm practicing on being more consistent. Okay. Now, you look at the film, he'll disappear, then he'll show a flash, then he'll fade. Now, if you look at the Bears got him at the number 64 pick. Now, you look at Mel Kiper, he had it ranked at the number 93 prospect. The draft scout, Matt Miller, had him at 106, and Pro Football Focus had him at 110. I believe it's another reach. I feel like Ryan Poles did a lot of reaching for these defensive tackles.
He went for that perfect form body, man. But you know what? I feel like he could have got Felix Adeduke Uzuma
from Kansas State. No, he wasn't there at 64, bro.
He wasn't there.
No, he was like an early 2nd round pick. He was to Kansas City. I think he was the last pick in the 1st round with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay, was Andre Carter there?
That's right. Yeah.
Andre Carter was. I think he was there. I believe he was there. Yeah.
And then don't forget about Ade.
Northwestern
was also there.
Yes, he was.
So it was way more productive than both these guys.
Yeah.
So it was reaches, like Adi said, I think both picks, but they body type. But I think you got to respect their body because at the floor they can be run stoppers, which you need for the linebacker. So he was just really being smart and conservative, really, with this whole draft. Okay, getting big corners, getting big fat run stoppers, not trying to find a D tackle that can be that super 3 technique. Both these guys is really 1 techniques that can play 3 technique.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? They just big guys who take on double teams, really, in real life at the floor. So, he was being safe with these picks.
And don't forget, they did sign Rasheem Green. He played for the Houston Texans last year. He played 4 years for the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah. He's put up some good numbers. He only missed 1 game in the last 2 seasons.
We got Green, we got Billings.
Yeah, we got Andrew Billings. But I don't really Billings, he's big, but he hasn't done much since 2018 with the Bengals. So we do have Andrew Billings. He's really big, and so hopefully he can resurrect his career.
Well, the Bears did have the worst run defense last year, so I think that's a lot too.
And so after the season, Justin Jones came on podcast, and he was talking about the scheme and what he came here to do. He was talking about whereas he came here because he knew that Robert Quinn was going to get a lot of double teams. Right. And so now he said he struggled because when Robert Quinn left, there was no longer double teaming him. Right. And he was getting the double teams.
He was the best D lineman on the team.
He was the best D lineman on the team, and he was bad. And so both of these guys are going to have to compete. So it is very important that we do get an edge rusher, or these guys may be strong enough to take on the double teams, but Justin Jones basically said it out of his mouth, he couldn't handle the double teams.
Right, yeah. Wow. So he's smaller than those guys, actually. You look at his body size, he's not as big as those guys.
He did say when he signed that he didn't come there to do that. He thought Robert Quinn was going to be there. Mm-hmm. He came to play one-on-one.
Got a rude awakening.
Can you name our D lineman real quick?
I mean, yeah. So he just named. You talking about the whole D line?
Well, yeah, really the defensive tackles.
Yeah. We just named Roschon Green, Andrew Billings, Justin Jones. Then we just got these 2 second-round picks, and then we'll talk about the 7th-round pick later.
So we got 5 guys to stop the run. Really, all these 5 guys really run stoppers.
Yeah.
So all these defensive tackles is not like 3 technique guys. So I like it.
You got to remember too, the Bears still have money. There's still free agents out there. They
Most
still,
cap space. Most cap
so they're
space
not
in the
finished
league.
yet. I know the draft. They still can go sign some free agents.
Mm-hmm.
I
Absolutely.
want them to sign tight end, and I want them to sign Jalen Johnson with some of that money.
Yeah.
Let's lock up some of these guys. Don't let them go to free agents.
Right.
Nah, absolutely. So let's talk about which player we all talked about. Anybody else got any thoughts on Zacch Pickens before we go forward? No, we good? Okay, let's talk about which player was drafted after the 3rd round that you find like, man, I think he might be some.
You know what? I like the linebacker that we drafted, Noah Sewell.
Okay.
Noah Sewell.
Yeah.
I liked him because of his pedigree, because he got a brother that's in the league right now, because what he did as a freshman in college. He had over 100 tackles. He just kind of tapered down his sophomore and junior year. Maybe got too much attention. Maybe they changed the scheme. But I think that he's a big, hard-hitting thumper. His body is built for the NFL. He can start as Sam linebacker or compete with the guy Sanborn.
Oh, Jack Sanborn?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can compete with him or start. So we got a 5th rounder who can start as Sam linebacker with the other 2 linebackers. Once again, solidified a position on the Bears linebacker. He, as a 4th guy, makes it, or the 3rd, makes it straight. And at the worst case scenario, he'll be a Pro Bowl special teamer. So, worst case scenario, a Pro Bowl.
Special team.
Running, blowing up wedges, big boy. So I like the pick. I project him as starting though. I mean, worst case, that's the worst case. I see him going to take that spot from Sanborn, starting with the Edwards,
T.J. Edwards,
Edwards and Edmund twins. Those guys, they're going to be a cold linebacker crew with our DBs. It's going to be fierce, and I'm looking forward to seeing them out there.
Alright, what about you? What guy are you looking at?
Well, the Golden Gopher cornerback Terrell Smith. Okay, he was a late 5th-round pick, 6 foot, 205 pounds. The Bears' 2nd-round pick Stevenson may have a little issue with speed, but not this guy. He was Georgia State's 100-meter dash champion in high school, and he fits the theme for the Bears' ideal cornerback. Big and physical. Okay, he's big and physical. Terrell Smith only played 13 games from 2019 to 2021 due to sliding down the depth chart and some injuries, but he bounced back in a big way last year. He had 38 tackles, 5 passes defended, 4.5 tackles for loss, and 2 interceptions. Now, on opening day last year, the Bears' starting cornerback opposite of Jalen Johnson was Boone's guy, Kendall Williamson, which I don't like. I think he's a career backup. You know,
he's a career good enough.
Well, he was benched.
He's good
he
enough.
was benched for the Mississippi undrafted free agent Jalen Jones. Okay, who came in there, and he's a career backup too. So you got Terrell Smith, the Golden Gopher. He's coming in there, and you know what? I feel like that starting spot opposite of my man Jalen Johnson is wide open. He can compete with Stevenson for that. And another thing about Smith, that he was a 165th pick in the draft in round 5. The draft scout and Mel Kiper Jr. projected him to be a 3rd-round pick.
So we got still
great value still.
I love this draft. I have to jump in because these guys are special team aces. This is another guy that got the speed and the physical body to be on special teams. It's a 3rd phase. Every good team really got to be killing. It makes the rest of the offense and defense easier. So we got another guy that can be a standout on special teams. I'd like him to start. Woo, that's crazy. But he's gonna be on special teams. All right. I think Vildor is gonna be. You know what?
Vildor is not.
Vildor is good.
Vildor is not starting. Let it go.
He's big boy.
You gotta let it go. We in trouble. If he start, we out of there.
With our 2 safeties and our other corners, him out there, like I said, he can do a lot worse. But we got competition now. You know, these 2 draft picks, plus the Johnson from last year, the undrafted free agent. We got a lot of competition, so the DBs is straight. I like the pick too.
Who you looking at, Coach?
I said on this show we need to leave with multiple D tackles. We need to leave with multiple cornerbacks, and we did do that. But my favorite pick of the draft,
I bet you agree with me.
Roschon Johnson.
Yep, that was it. That's where I was going. Yep.
My favorite pick was Roschon Johnson. He will definitely have you guys forgetting about David Montgomery. I'm going to say it. He's our opening day starter. He's an upgrade from David Montgomery. Louis Riddick
Already.
said he is the best pass blocker since Clinton Portis. He was a high school All-American quarterback. Obviously, we know he did not start at the Texas Longhorns because Bijan Robinson, which was, he was picked number
8 to the
number
finals.
8. He was picked number 8.
Which is a crazy pick too.
Which is a pick number. So, but he is violent. They say he initiates the contact. I really love him. Obviously, he dropped like David Montgomery. He don't have the speed, but Chicago Bears fan that was heard about David Montgomery, you will soon forget about him. He is a day one starter for the Chicago Bears. He could catch the ball out the backfield. He could run, and now the only thing is he will be lacking speed. Obviously, the Bears were not too high, what some people is on Khalil Herbert. They went and got Dante Foreman, and they drafted a running back. So I'm projecting that he's going to be our starting running back.
Over Foreman.
I agree. I'm with Marcus on this 100%. That's the best pick. That's my favorite pick of this draft right now.
I got to see more film. I hope he's not a fullback.
No, he's not a fullback.
He's at Texas.
No, he had a 6 yards per carry last year.
Even being a backup, he still made honorable mention in the Big 12. As being a backup.
Right.
Because I like him about his blocking.
He has low mileage too. Low mileage because Bijan Robinson was getting all the carries.
So no, I love the pick. He's versatile. He can block. He gonna be able to run those tough yards. I'm with Marcus. I think he's the starting number 1 running back in game 1.
That's love.
You're all right. I wasn't that high.
I got real high. I'm real high on him.
I'm very high on him. He was my favorite pick.
That was my favorite. That's what I took away from this draft. That was my favorite pick. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Darnell Wright, but as far as a value pick, I think his value.
It was.
You know what I'm saying?
David Montgomery came in as our starting day 1. He was a third round pick. This guy was a 4th. He's
going to be starting running back. You know, he gonna slip. Don't get me wrong. Herbert and Foreman gonna get carries, but he's gonna be the guy. You know, when the going gets tough.
We still don't got that fast speedster though, right?
No, we don't.
Because he can bruise you for three quarters, and you put that fast guy to go.
Herbert is a little fast. Don't get me wrong. Herbert got a little speed on him.
I'm down on Herbert.
Israel Abanikanda, he went to the Jets. I thought the Bears were going to take him from Pitt. You know what I'm saying? But no, they didn't.
So, Adi, are there any other Bears rookies we failed to mention?
Yes, I'm shocked. You guys did not mention Tyler Scott, the wide receiver.
That was my next one. That was a good one. That was another pick I liked.
He had 9 touchdowns. Each touchdown was a play of 44 yards alone.
Dog, he had TDs last year, 61, 75, 76, and 81. He's a blazer. He's a speedster. He had the 5th best vertical amongst wide receivers in the NFL Combine.
I think Ryan Poles looked at the vertical.
That's how you
jump high. Can you jump high? You're my guy. Now look, last year was his junior year, and like don't say he had 9 touchdowns. He had 54 receptions, 899 yards. Many experts thought he should go back for his senior year because he didn't do much in his first 2 years, but he came out anyway. Now, here's what I love about Tyler Scott. The Bears got him at pick 133. Pro Football Focus had him rated as a number 85 prospect. Mel Kiper had him at 75, and Matt Miller had him at 57.
Damn.
This is the best value pick for the Bears. He was a star running back in high school. Velus Jones, step your game up, bro.
That's competition.
That was my second player that I was looking at. Because if Darnell Mooney, or let's be real, if Chase Claypool ain't playing up to par, you got another somebody else who you can put out there.
Yeah.
And
But
so
his comparables is really similar to Velus Jones, but I like having them both out there. We can do some gadget trick plays, have both of those guys coming around, pre-snap motion, so yeah.
Velus Jones was a huge special teamer at Tennessee. Huge special teamer. Tyler Scott didn't get a lot of reps as a special teamer, but he has potential because he played running back. So he should have special team experience, but he really don't. So that's the difference between them two.
I get excited because I think about Justin Fields gonna be able to use his arm. Because that's a guy that can get downfield, and that's Justin. You can really see.
So think about the first round draft pick. We get our right tackle. So now we do a play action run, one of our running backs. Everybody come down. He got time. He take a step back. He take a nap like Peyton Manning did, and Tom Brady take a nap behind the line, and then throw the ball deep to Scott, going down the field, running that track speed. He was a junior Olympic track runner, and then boom, touchdown, 70-yard bomb touchdown. So with the O-line and with the weapons we got, this is draft. Got me with a lot of hope. For the offense. Got a lot of hope. We don't get no real weaknesses on offense right now.
Two more guys that we missed. Travis Bell, defensive tackle from Kennesaw State. He's 6 foot. He's 310 pounds.
We got FBCU. So
he's a 7th-round pick. Okay. Then you got Kendall Williamson, the safety from Stanford.
God
6 foot, 200 pounds. Yeah. Hopefully he makes it.
Hopefully he makes special teams.
This is what I miss your special teams.
Yes, it's when you miss your special teams. Yeah. So that's the Bears draft. There you go.
And so, all right. So overall, go ahead, Boone. You was already talking about overall.
Oh, yeah, man.
What's your feeling? I guess are we gonna do the grades? We gonna do a number rated 1 through 10? Let's do a rated number 1 through 10.
Okay, 1 through 10. Okay.
Graded 1 through 10 because of this. We went from a team with many weaknesses in that 14 season. Now we only have one, and that's edge rusher. All right, so we solidified everything. So with this off season all together, I know we're talking about the draft, but with the whole off season, I gotta get this guy. You know what? I gotta give him a B plus because I gotta see it first. I want to give him an A, but I give him a B plus.
So basically 8 out of 10.
What are you gonna give him out of 10?
We're doing numbers.
That's a B though. So I figured it out for you.
Solid 8 out of 10.
Ooh, so you gave him a high grade.
Yeah,
Coach, I listen to you all day. I don't think you're giving him an 8. Am I wrong?
No, he's not getting an A. Like Adi has said, I do like some of the later picks. First round pick is not bad. I'm gonna give him a 7.
Okay.
But
that's better than I thought you was gonna give him.
No, because we had a lot of weaknesses.
Yeah.
And I do feel he left this draft with, and I'll call a third corner a starter.
Okay.
And so I do feel he left this draft. He solidified the right tackle spot. He has a running back out the draft. One of those D tackles I think will hit. Yeah. One of those D tackles will hit, and the cornerback. So I think he left this draft with 4 starters legit from day one. Now it all depends on how many more. So here's the thing: even though they're starters, and I say this all the time about Braxton Jones, just because they're going to be starting on the Bears, do not mean they're NFL starters.
That's fair.
So we do have some starters. We have, but I do like that he thought about the cornerback position because that was we need 3. We only had 2, and we starting to get some depth at certain positions. And so I was on him about this draft, but I do like how he's still building the team, and he has consistently talked about putting that foundation in. And I do see what he was trying to do, so I do respect him because he has a plan. Me personally, I wanted him to go for that.
You want a home run? Yeah.
I wanted a home run, and I think he's taking a lot of singles, which that's his plan, and I do have to respect that.
Yeah. All right. What? So, what about you?
Okay. Well, sad story alert. Before the 2014 draft, the Bears had a huge need for defensive tackles, and so in the 2nd round, he took LSU's Ego Ferguson.
Man.
And in the 3rd round, he took Arizona State Will Sutton. Those guys. Man, huge bust. So I hope that doesn't.
Wasn't that bad.
No, he only played 3 seasons in the NFL, and Ego Ferguson played 2 seasons, and Will Sutton only played 3 seasons in the NFL. He had 0 sacks in his career.
was that. Then they go to a 3-4 and they was like no longer needed. So they went to a 3-4 and it was like, okay, you just took 2 D tackles and then went to a 3-4.
Yeah, that was 2014. That was when they had Fox. They had 4-3 with Fox, and they went to 3-4, and when they brought in Fangio in 2017.
Yes.
Okay, maybe
2017.
maybe that was
so they played in 4-3.
Okay,
so it was just they reached. So they reached too much, and then they did not take an edge rusher. Okay, and then traded number 32 pick for Claypool. That was part of it too. I'll give him a 6.5.
6.5. I ain't mad at that. I'm gonna go 7. I'm gonna go 7. It could be higher. It's just a couple questions I have. Still the D tackles, even though hopefully one of those D tackles hit, but I'm gonna be thinking about Jalen Carter. I just can't help it.
You know what I'm saying? You're right about that.
Yeah, I can't.
Ryan Post is attached to Jalen Carter.
Yeah, just what it is.
Ryan Pace was attached to Mitch. Yeah. He's gonna be attached.
That's gonna be one, and then but I do like that they. Even though they went and got DJ Moore, they went and got another receiver. I do like that they didn't settle. They went and got another running back.
I like the cornerback too.
Yeah, I like
cornerbacks.
I like the cornerbacks. They fit. I think those cornerback picks was Matt Eberflus, like all his name written all over.
Big physical cornerback.
Yeah, big. That's what he likes. That's what it is. I love the number 1 pick they got in Darnell Wright. I think he is going to be a star. I'm real high on him. I think he's got all the traits. So you might have something there, but I'm gonna go with a 7 as well because it's still a couple questions, so it's not a perfect draft. But we just don't know. We don't know until they play.
You couldn't fit everything. You couldn't get everything. You wasn't leaving this draft with everything. And so, if you're not mistaken, we could say now that Joey Porter Jr. was traded for Chase Claypool.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, they took Joey Porter Jr.
Joey Porter Jr. was traded. Okay. So, what did for the number 1 pick? What all did we get? We got Darnell Wright. Darnell Wright. We got DJ Moore.
Dexter.
Okay, yeah, that was the
Gervon Dexter.
Yeah. So I still think for that number 1 pick, we did get a lot.
And a number 1 pick in 2024.
Yeah, we still got that.
And then we got a second round pick
in 2025.
We got a second. So we still got a lot.
We still getting a lot.
We got a lot
coming out of the pipeline.
In Carolina, if they don't make the playoffs or something, they might be. We could be. He talking
They
about.
start Andy Dalton as the starting quarterback for the Panthers. We need them to really flop. We need them to go 3-14.
Man, they better not start Andy Dalton at quarterback, man. When you just pick Bryce Young, man. Nah. Listen, sometimes never mind. That's a different conversation.
He all small and little, and all he's just too small, and he can't do anything. And he go 2-15.
I think he's gonna be good. I'm not. I think he's
gonna be good. Not the first year though.
I'm just saying, the first year we might be able to get away with it.
I hope they go 0-17.
Yeah, he's gonna have a good career.
I think so. You've been watching Spectator Sporting Bears Draft Review. I'm Zacch Roschon. I'm my partner, Mr. Adi Wally. Shout out to Coach Floyd. Shout out to Boom for helping us out with this. We out. Peace.
Down for the Panthers. Down.